guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Episode 34, Part 1. This one, Encroaching Waters. We are near the water, we already know this, the Menagerie Coast. We might have found out who Jester's father is. I don't want to get my hopes up. We talked about it in Talks Machina. It seems like everyone is assuming at this point that it is, based on the fact that Liam and Talzin both seemed like that, and I feel like they were speaking for the group almost based on the way the group was acting throughout the entire episode after we found out that information from the Ruby. The whole Ruby and the Sapphire was the name of the episode. It wasn't the whole Ruby, it was the Ruby and the Sapphire. Name of the episode, amazing. We got to see and spend time with Jester's mom way more than I thought. I thought we'd see the song, we would then have her go entertain her gentleman callers, and then maybe we get a little bit of a conversation in the morning. She literally took the night off to talk to us, lets us stay there. We can stay here as long as we want. She says there is one guy that's given her some trouble, a guy that's a little jealous, scaring other customers. You can't have that, so we might have to kill him. Not flat out said it. In Talks Machina, Laura Bailey was supposed to be there and couldn't show due to her being sick. I'm curious to see if we get her here. I don't know. I don't think I looked. I think I went right to the Critical Role thing. I don't think I've seen it. I popped this up like a couple hours ago, and honestly, I think I popped it right up there and I didn't see who was part of the cast. She likely is. I don't think she wouldn't show up. I feel like Talks Machina is something that she could be like, Liam, could you fill in? And it's not a huge deal. I would have loved to hear what she had to say. But I also love Liam and Talzin. It was good. It was great. I also put this up here because a couple people told me don't use the typical thumbnails because it'll spoil something. So I don't know. Obviously, that must mean a person, I'm guessing. But either way, I don't know for sure. It could be something. Maybe there's a special thumbnail that has like a guest star. It could be a guest. Maybe a guest's coming and the guest was in the thumbnail. So let's just jump in. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit them all. Doctor Who, A Person of Interest. These have the Patreon exclusive, which you'll see after this. New format, in case you guys didn't know. Monday is part 1. Tuesday is the Patreon exclusive hour, and then Wednesday is part 3, live stream Friday. Patreon link at the end for the rest. If not, Campaign 2, episode 34, part 1. Oh, I thought the volume was off. It did that to me again. Sometimes the volume works funny on this show.
Long game, motherfucker.
Welcome back.
Wow.
My God.
So, last we left off, the Mighty Nine had made their way southward, absconding from the tensions of the North Dwendalian Empire to seek a few possible threads of mystery to the south shores and coast of the Menagerie
To the
Coast.
Dwendalian Empire.
You made your way through the Wuyun Gorge, purchased a few pets, and then eventually found yourselves, for many of you, your first time
God damn it, I
at the
drank it
beach,
too quick
at the
and I
coast,
just
seeing
got
an
the
ocean,
hiccups.
seeing the waves, seeing the sand, and
The only
took a
thing I
little,
hate about beer,
brief
I
bit
get
of
hiccups
time to
often.
relish in that experience. Eventually making your way to Nicodranas in time for the sunset across the Western Ocean. You
What was the
began
guy's
to
name?
notice
Algar?
kind of the workforce that goes through the day and kind of dwindles to the night, that works alongside the numerous number of ships that come in and then stay along the wharf and the various docks in the vicinity. You made your way through.
I'm just going to call him Big D.
stealthy.
From now on, he's Big D.
But we're not in character yet.
I don't
so
want to
I'll
have
allow it.
to repeat, because I just keep repeating myself.
You made your way throughout various districts of the city,
now.
eventually meeting the fantastic and long presented mother of Jester, the Ruby of the Sea, Marion Lavore.
Marion Lavore.
After having some time to catch up with her, exchange information about your travels, you discovered that there had been some issues with one client of hers within the town, and managed to gather a little bit of information, but began to seek more about this Algar, this figure who'd grown jealous of other clientele and seemed to be.
I can call him Algar, but I kind of like
becoming
Big D now.
a point of concern for Marion, and you took it upon yourselves to look into this individual and find a way to possibly resolve this while you're in town. You
I'm
also,
hoping he's not around for
began
long.
to
I hope I didn't just give him a name and he's
some
around
other
for
curious
100
mysteries.
episodes.
You went to the lighthouse and
wouldn't
spoke with the lighthouse keeper there, for a bit. You had found a strange tower in the open quay.
And you guys told me it's
and then eventually discovered
Key, not Quay.
Along the wharf a tavern of familiar name based on some of the previous things you were keeping an eye out for. The Wayfarer's Cove.
I asked in the chat if I should just say Quay
stepped into
for sake of what everyone else is saying. I don't want to throw people
stepped
off.
into the darkened interior
But I also
of
don't
this.
want to say incorrect
The smell of old wet wood combined with the dried liquors and ales that had long stained the various tables and floorboards of this kind of dank and relatively kind of musty
and we got
bar.
the description of an amazing
Looking across the clientele, a few interesting persons caught your attention.
I like it.
And that's where we
Let's have a lot of conversations.
So, Mighty Nein, as you begin to enter this darkened,
I'm totally down for conversations.
Torchlit interior.
Fabio
lantern,
Sam, Samson Sam,
slowly
romance
hanging
novel Sam, Max
various
equals.
portions of the ceiling cross beams, the bits of wind that push in through, causing them to slightly shift and kind of have this kind of shifting crackle of firelight within the chamber. What do you wish to do?
Let's talk to some people. Apologize for my voice. It literally, I lost my voice.
I mean, I've seen one, but I've never.
I was talking for like 5 straight hours.
Turtle person?
Yeah.
And I lost my voice.
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually saw one either. I've only seen pictures.
Is that an eye patch?
Yes, it is.
Are those tattoos?
Yes, they are.
Is that a shell?
No, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Should we talk to him first?
Yes.
Who wants to?
Everyone
who
seems
wants
to be the
talk
most
to-
intrigued
oh.
by the turtle. I think you guys told me it's called a turtle.
No.
What are those?
It's crazy that
What are those things coming out of?
I've also
the
heard
shell?
turtle in other
know.
things. I feel
Are
like
you a
Pokemon
turtle?
is like a.
Do you walk up and approach him?
Isn't there like a turtle
All right.
type of name in Pokemon? And Pokemon?
Sitting there
I
on the
play
table,
Pokemon
kind
Go.
of both these large, scaled, coming
I'm
to the
an
point of
avid
these
Pokemon Go
kind
player.
of hooked claws. These
I'm, like,
hands are wrapped
very-
around this heavy tankard. The head kind of shifts over in your direction, where the eye patch kind of meets your gaze first. For the other eye creeps past the extending hard brow.
I'm sorry.
Ever since I started doing
What you
YouTube, I've
asking,
been
huh?
slacking on Pokemon Go.
I was asking how you got your eye patch. Did somebody shoot it out of your eye?
Well, that's certainly a possibility, Shara.
I love it. I freaking
remember?
love it. Look at Travis.
You
Why do I
don't
feel like this
think
is
that
true?
perhaps someone's gonna tell you the life story just without even knowing you, huh? You gonna buy me a drink first, huh?
Oh yeah, I will buy you a drink if you tell me how your eyeball went
Do
missing.
you think Matt practices voices at home in Marisha?
What he wants.
Like
What?
see
You-
some of them
Oh, do you
without
not
him
want
knowing?
milk?
Like not
Do you
intentionally.
want something
like just
else?
walks in on a face and a
He
voice.
raises one of his fingers up towards the bar.
That'd be
And
funny.
the bartender glances up.
He's just acting like that.
Oh, another round. Oh, okay. He turns around and begins preparing what looks to be another drink. Lowers his hand
you
and
have
claw,
to
which
run
kind of
into each
scrapes
other
across the
doing
wood and
things
leaves this
without
little kind
knowing
of
the other's
curl
watching.
of a little shaving that is put to the side as his hand comes to rest, looking back at you with his one eye.
I love it.
How about this then? Let's trade a story, huh?
Okay.
You tell me where you're from and why brought you into mine.
This might be my favorite Matt Mercer voice ever.
Then maybe I'll tell you how I lost this, huh?
Okay. Well, I'm from
Why is this
up the
rocking on me?
street, kind of. I'm the daughter of the Ruby of the Sea. Do you work for any government officials?
I absolutely love this
I'm the daughter
character.
of the
I don't want to
Ruby
talk
of
to
the
anybody else.
Sea.
Let's just talk to him for 3 hours.
And you know, these are my friends, and we've gotten into a lot of hijinks. And what else did you want to know?
Drink gets brought under the table.
Don't worry, she's gonna take care of it.
Yes. Do you have money to take care of?
I'm
Sure, you can.
You guys, because I was gonna go get some milk too. Is you need 2 milks?
Does
also.
Jester not have
One
money?
hot, please. 2 milks, one.
Or
hot.
it's just
a
her. Oh,
silver
because
for
she
that,
wants
so
not to
it's
go
an
get
easy
the.
trade-off.
Do we order anything other than milk, please.
Okay, well, for a round of drinks and the milks involved as well, that'll put you, we'll say, at about
2 silver. That's it.
2 silver. Sure.
It's also possible
After
that we
the
met my
bottle
dad
service we
earlier
got
and we
the other
didn't know
day.
it.
I'm gonna be
We spent like
perfectly honest.
26 gold on bottle service.
That was a lot more than I was asking. But I appreciate it.
Okay. I appreciate
Is he talking
you
slow?
too.
Like, because he's
How
a
did
turtle,
you get those
he like
pipes
kind of
on
has
your
like a
back?
hiccup in it. I don't know if it's because he's
Turns,
old.
you hear like the creaking of leather as the long extended
I
neck kind
love
of
it.
turns, the folds of
It could just
skin
be
kind of pushing into
the way
themselves.
he talks.
Well, this got this here on sea maybe about 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh boy. What do they do?
I'm so
And he
intrigued.
It reaches back, and you can see it's interesting because, like on the right side of the shell, it looks like elements have been carved through where these pipes have been put in on the
Amazing,
back.
amazing.
On the front, there's a small kind of deflated pouch of leather, and what looks to be a small extended tube of metal. He kind of lifts it with one hand and breathes into it, and it kind of inflates a bit and inflates a bit. And you see his one eye kind of look around mischievously to everyone else at the bar and goes,
I mean, you asked.
and you get just this like trio of bagpipes begin blasting out of these large, almost shell sculpted pipes that curve out of his shell, and everyone in the room just immediately starts grabbing their ears, going, "Ah, what's this?" And they start throwing things over, clanking off of his shell, and
Oh my god, fake bagpipe sound is best bagpipe.
This is so.
Happening. I don't know anymore.
He's so good. That was good.
Only a few notes in, because while he's mischievously enjoying the moment of shattering the calm and chill in the chamber, he's not going to get himself thrown out. So he stops and goes,
I was gonna say,
is how
always
I,
better when you carry them
keep the
with
other
you and
shipmates
play them where people can't get away.
entertained.
Entertained.
It's
Yeah,
a very good
yeah.
skill. You're quite talented, really.
What's your typical rank on the board?
When they explained it at the end of the last episode, the things coming off,
Number them.
I did not think it was bagpipes.
Number them.
I'll tell you that. I was
Months
thinking
since,
like exhaust,
I found
like
me
a car,
good ship
like
and
big
a
exhaust.
puppy
I don't
sat
know
there
where
on
my
the
mind
ocean,
was
see.
going.
But I've been known to be a rather decent second mate navigator.
Very cool.
Is your name Marius?
That's not my Monica.
Oh, is that what it is? See, is it that he's a turtle, or is he had a stutter or something?
What is your name, friend?
Orly.
Orly.
Orly?
Orly Skiffback.
Orly Skiffback.
Skiffback.
Better skip back.
Now, I've been
Better
forthcoming
skip
with
back.
my direct title. Might I ask what your individual names may be?
Well, of course, my name is Ford.
Well, of course it is.
I'm Bo.
Caleb Widowguest.
Junior.
Junior.
Nancy.
Caduceus. I don't. Okay. Yeah.
I love that he got thrown
Welcome.
off in character.
To the shithole.
But, like, obviously
his
it's
drink,
intentional,
just kinda
hence
sips.
why in character.
takes a few moments, looks around again.
Y'all still lingering for some reason?
You say you've, it's been a few months since your last passage on a ship? Steady work?
I mean, he seems like a good dude to talk to. I just don't know how much he'll know. But I'm down. Let's talk to him. Yeah, let's.
I'm trying to Texas, Georgia, Louisiana.
That actually would have been pretty
We're
funny.
looking
That.
for an individual might frequent these
I would have
parts.
liked. I mean, it
Half-elf
would
gentleman.
have added.
You
a
seen
little
anyone
enjoyment.
named Sabian in these parts?
Can't say that I have there, so my apologies. However, you're more than welcome to ask around. I'm sure there's a whole mighty spectrum of curious travelers that come in and out of here.
Have you not been on a ship because of a lack of opportunity, or if the right
I feel
situation
like he's somebody
presented
from like
itself,
a
you
West.
would
I mean,
be
I know it's
perhaps
not,
up
but I
for
feel like it's
a bit of
reminding
work?
me of someone from a
Oh, the,
Western, like Wyatt Earp or
Latter
something.
than the former.
Tombstone.
I got a jive with the right crew. More like I got a jive with me. I mean,
And he kind of like does this kind of, I'm a fucking turtle kind of a, physicality to it.
It's the bagpipes, isn't it?
It's the
well,
bagpipes.
they're in a quiet taste, I'd say, perhaps, Shelly.
Judging by your physique, though, you must be quite excellent on the water.
I'd say so.
I'm sure you're an asset to any vessel. Now that I've buttered you up, how about, have you ever heard of Marius Le Poil?
Why are you asking?
Oh,
If I'm
oh, we have it. We have a hit.
One green to another.
One green.
We
'cause
were
it's-
just told that he might be around and he has some
He knows
information
Marius.
that we were looking for. We actually are trying to deliver
No one
him
asks why.
a bit of correspondence.
If you don't, he didn't ask why about the
Make a
others.
persuasion check.
Oh, that
Yeah.
will go over great. Ooh. -3. Oh no, persuasion is at 0? How did that happen? Anyway, it's 13.
Not bad. I would have liked a little better.
Proficient.
Oh, I'm proficient at persuasion.
Does he work for him? Because he acted like he's a friend or a buddy or work.
Say I've seen him around. Occasionally the boy has needed a place to crash, and I've provided my shack, my abode.
Occasionally,
When
but
he's
not
been drinking
now.
too hard or comes in with some sort of a mark on his face, but
You're roommates with Marius?
only and occasionally.
Occasionally.
Have you seen him lately?
I'm turning it up a little
Not in
bit.
a few days, no.
Do you know where he went?
Don't pay attention, don't care none.
Do you frequent spots outside of this particular establishment, or is this your shithole of choice?
You see him getting guarded the more you start asking about Marius a little bit. Caduceus, you specifically, as you're kind of watching this, you get the sense that he's offered up a little bit of information, but that little bit seems to have caused him to reel in, and he's being guarded and doesn't seem very forthcoming, though he passes it off as a lack of information.
I apologize if we're anxious. We just want to get our business concluded as quickly as possible and move on to more pressing matters. I mean, if you see Marius or let him know that he's around, you're welcome to tell him that people were trying to deliver something. I get the impression that he's a friend, and I also get the impression that he's
I like
probably
how
used to a fair bit of trouble.
straightforward.
We're hoping not to be trouble.
Beautiful.
You said something
Beautifully
about
done.
delivery.
Well, it's complicated. I'm not even going to pretend
That
that I
was done
entirely
so
understand it myself.
Quickly.
It's a present.
And approached and
It was a
delivered
present
so well.
for him.
Like right off the top of his
There's a
head, boom,
shifting
perfect delivery.
to Orly, at which point the
Caduceus.
last of the air in the small pouch kind of gets pushed in. It's like slowly comes to rest and kind of goes,
Again, I hate to ask personal questions, but have,
Little toot there. Little toot.
have you ever sailed with Marius by any chance? I mean, do you have an impression of him as a sailor, or?
oh,
Marius ain't really what you'd call a sea trekking folk. More of a slimy shadow word peddler. However,
A word peddler.
last time I saw him, not back
I guess that
maybe a
big talker
week
who
ago,
talks a lot.
I recall
never
he
heard that.
was complaining, waiting on something to be delivered, never found its way around.
Boom.
Well, the boy owes a lot of money.
Well, I have to say that we might be the answer he's looking for. We're kind of removed from the actual situation. We're more delivery by happenstance more than anything else. We have our own questions and problems and concerns which can only be answered by someone who has a better grasp of the situation. You know.
Make a
Look
persuasion
at Ford. Ford's thinking what I'm thinking. Boom. Like Ford is like,
I know people.
is it insulting to call him he keeps calling him
Persuasion?
a talking cow. I'm not offended, but I feel like that could be offensive to a person that looks
Orly
like him.
looks you.
I mean, it depends on your
with
opinion
his
of
one good
cows.
eye and kind of
I
glances
just look
up
at
and down.
cows
Get a
as
good
like
look. The leather
dumb
eye patch
creatures.
itself, you can see it has its own kind of carving into it, like it was wettened at one point and then shaved to have a very similar pattern as the kind of curling wave tattoos that match his upper arms, and you can now see the backs and sides of his neck.
I know
Looking for your
Travis
combos.
is saying it in like an endearing way or not a mean
Full
way.
deal.
Let me tell you something. If what you say is true, could very well be that you and your friends here might have a way of taking some of the weight off of Mary's. I haven't seen
music's
him
great right now,
sometime, but I do know sometimes he hangs around the docks at night, around midnight. Sometimes he's meeting folks in ships and selling things I can only imagine is illegal. Sometimes he's picking things up.
You wouldn't mind me asking for a brief description of him so we can identify him when we see him. That would be most advantageous.
What you looking for? Skinny-ass little half-elf fella. Sides of his head shaved real low.
Cool.
Tiny little fuzz.
Super cool.
With a big old flop of blonde hair. Kind of hangs around in front of the face.
That's pretty cool.
Other than that, he don't dress mighty rich or anything. Tends to stay out of sight, so maybe it'd be best you keep a keen eye around the shadows, huh?
Sure, I imagine he's probably a little jumpy of people if he owes money and that sort of thing. That can make somebody very
At some point,
mistrusting.
I'm gonna think of who he's reminding me of. It's like so on the tip of my
To
tongue.
invoke your name in front of him, but
If all goes well and you end up doing him a solid, don't be afraid to tell him that Orly put you in the right direction, huh?
thanks, friend. That's great.
If not, don't say a fucking word.
Oh, of course not.
We'll be very careful. We guarantee.
Guarantee.
Yes.
Guarantee.
It scratches the bottom of the chin looking at you.
This turtle must survive at all costs. Are we in agreement?
Yes, Orly. We must protect Orly. Hey, I don't know if it's the same
The
with his
other,
type,
folks in
but
the
turtles
tavern
in
are
general,
like
in our world, live quite a while.
Woman.
Depending on
White-haired lady?
the type,
Crotchety, half
some
elf
can live hundreds
bartender,
of years.
Elf, yeah.
and then the other fisherman.
Yeah, there's an older fisherman-looking gentleman who's sitting there minding his own business, kind of staring at his drink, though now he's kind of glaring over this large group that's conversing after blowing bagpipes.
I mean,
in
we
the
already
middle of
found
his,
out a hell of a lot
you know,
just from one
previous
guy.
solitary
Who else is in
afternoon.
this place? We had a
There's
bunch. There's
woman,
at least four.
Looks probably like late 40s, early 50s or so, with a very big mass of
think we got
hair
about
that goes
5
from,
minutes
from
left
a dark brown to a
before part one
gray
is
to a
over.
white at the tips that kind of almost like a mane. Dark skin, looks weathered from lots of travel and probably seen quite a bit in her day. A light brown coat that kind of hangs over the edge of the chair she's sitting in. And she's, I mean, they're all looking at you guys because you all come storming in here, cause this ruckus, talking to the turtle.
I have a dog that's peeing on shit.
Yeah, it's, you
Have a
guys aren't the
dog
most
that-
subtle of arrivals.
Is she giving us a
Thaddeus.
quizzical look, a suspicious
Professor
look, an
Thaddeus.
interested look?
Make an insight check.
That sucks balls. 4.
Hard to tell.
Dear Lord.
Don't know if I care. I'm gonna go over to her.
All right. Well, do you guys stay with Orly or are you?
Well, I mean, is Orly giving the vibe that he's enjoying the company, or is he giving the vibe that he now wants to enjoy his drink in peace?
He looks like he's enjoying his drink, and he's not giving you any particular vibe in your direction. He doesn't seem to mind, but he's not engaging. He's most of his conversation is reactive at the moment.
Well, we got one more problem we got to deal with, which is your mom's problem.
Yeah.
And that's the one where we're gonna maybe have to get a little difficult.
Yeah, so to refresh everyone else's memory, because my memory is sound, we're looking for a way to get down into the underbelly of the city, right?
Maybe.
The sluice weave.
The sluice weave.
The sluice weave.
Just called the sluice.
The sluice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sluice is loose.
That's where the guy that's causing the problem is, but it seems super complicated.
Yeah.
We gotta
Or we
find out
can-
some info.
Yeah, do you know anyone who knows how to get down into the sluice weave or has ever been there by any chance?
What were you talking about?
I don't actually know what I'm talking about, to be fair.
I don't have. My apologies. I don't know.
Inside?
Make an insight check.
Use those blue dice. Those blue dice. Those.
Oh!
Wow! I touched them all.
We are rolling natural
That's a
one.
natural one.
They talked in Talks Machina about how not one natural 20 all last episode. Haven't seen one yet in this.
Smiling with his response, and you're just like,
About 30
in all your
minutes in
time,
almost.
you're not very well versed in the ticks and the subtle facial reads for turtles.
I like turtles. Yeah.
We don't
this
read
is,
turtles
We've got
very
another.
well.
We've got somebody who's a bit of a problem we have to deal with as well. This is a completely separate issue.
Oh, it's fine. There are all sorts of problems throughout this city. If you end up taking one down, that's one more that, well, we don't gotta piss on.
It's somebody being impolite to a friend of ours.
My mom.
Word just ain't gonna stand now, is it, Shelly? You gotta respect people's mamas.
So true.
Yep.
Yep.
While you're having this conversation, Ford has walked over to the other table, and the woman's sitting there, she's kind of her hands resting on the side.
Trailing.
Trailing as well.
Yep, trailing.
As you guys approach, with Ford towards the front, she just watches you.
Couldn't help but notice that we seem to have caught your eye.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of hard not to draw my attention with that very subtle display you've all managed to provide.
I apologize. Clearly, my friends and I are new in town, and we are just very inquisitive. What is that you're drinking?
This year, wine.
Yeah.
I can't open
Am I slipping?
It's so dapper in here.
It's wine. Red. Why are you buying?
Yeah, would you care for more?
I'll always care for more.
I'll wave to the barkeep to bring another round over.
For just her or for both of you?
For her.
Okay. That'll put you back, we'll say...
200 gold.
Oh my god, I thought
The
that.
wine.
No,
I
so
read
one silver
the
for-
subtitle and I'm like, what? One
round.
silver. I was like, what did she just have us
If you
buy
wouldn't
her?
mind, we were
I literally
moving
thought she
through the
conned us
town,
into
and
getting
there was
like the
this
most expensive shit
tower right in the
world.
middle of it. The Tide Peak, I believe it's called in my notes. Can you tell me, do you know anything about that? Such a strange structure.
To be completely honest, I don't spend a lot of time in the quay. I tend to focus more on this side. The business is better. I don't know why I'm focusing that other eye again. I'm stuck in that corner. I just noticed that. No, she's good. She was leaning this way.
Your Creole.
I
No,
once got
that's a
drunk,
problem already.
believe it or not, and fell asleep on my fists like this.
I've seen it.
I woke up
certainly
with two black
gazed
eyes and I
seen that
couldn't
weird tower.
like
I
see
think that's
for
what you're
like
referring
an
to.
hour or two.
Indeed.
Do you
I
do you
laid
live
like
in
that,
these spots, or are you
like
just passing
overnight
through?
for
No,
like
just
6,
passing
7
through,
hours.
taking a
when I
break.
was
I've only
in
been here for about a
college.
week and then shoving off back to this
And I literally
trade
thought I
route
went
towards
blind. I
Marquette. Probably.
pushed my eyes in my head and
sailor.
for like 6 straight hours.
You a sailor as well?
Indeed.
Not great. Most likely
for some
to
time.
survive
Bit
season
out of
2. At
practice,
least
but yeah.
one Pumac, carry the canoe,
What's your speciality? I might be looking
Kenku,
for crew.
Ollie the Turtle.
Quite a strong back. Good
And
with
Ollie
rigging,
was spelled
topsail.
different in the subs.
You name it, I've done it.
What's your rate?
Oh, I didn't quite make it up past just regular crew. I'm afraid higher duty didn't quite suit me.
But you're looking to travel?
Could be. Do you have work?
I maybe got room for one more in the crew if you want to come along. Prove yourself a few days at sea.
I might stop by. Where is your ship?
I think he's just doing it to.
She kind of glances off to the side and points on the far left side of the harbor. She's like, I can't really show you from here. Walk, follow me. And she steps up and walks past you towards the front and points to one ship that kind of like past there, the one with the kind of grayish sails kind of furled up. That's the Dren Salavis. That's my ship.
The Dren
Dren
Salavis.
Salavis. Your ship.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
She's been through a lot, but she's stuck with me for many years.
Awesome.
Apologies, did we catch your name?
Yeah, I don't think we caught
I
her
didn't
name.
catch yours.
We got our
my
ship's
name
name
is Caleb
before
Widogast.
hers.
Who is this guy?
Caleb Widogast, and this is my friend Ford.
This is
your
my
friend?
accountant, Caleb Widogast. Very intelligent, good with books
My
and numbers.
accountant.
I've got to say, I'm pretty intrigued by a strong back, small ranked sailor looking for work that walks around with his own accountant.
Well, not specifically to Ford, but to our group. You know, we are an odd bunch, a collection of people. So, you know, we tend to get our noses into things and...
You know how valuable it is to be a jack of all trades. I've tried some things in the meantime while I've been landlocked.
That was a good
need to be at sea, we have Ford.
counter.
When we need to crunch numbers, we have me, and we have others as well.
Quick on his feet. I like it.
Caleb Widogast.
Yeah.
Ford. Just Ford?
Just Ford.
Well, I'm just Captain Adella. Pleasure to meet you.
Captain Adella.
The pleasure is all
Jester
ours.
went, ooh.
When are you planning
but
to
then I think she didn't
cast
really,
off?
I don't know. I feel like we heard that name.
I think when we round up
Adella.
with a full crew and supplies gathered up, probably want to take some time to relax here in town for about another week or so, and then we'll head off. It's probably going to be a good 6-7 month journey before we come back. But if you and your accountant friend are looking to come, we got room for 2 more.
2 only. Do you have room for... Well, it's just 6 right now.
I mean, if you want to pay passage.
It's certainly possible. Well, you're headed back to Marquette, you say?
Yeah, direct.
Keep it in mind.
Couple stops along the coast, but
Are we
keep
really
it in mind.
thinking about it? I don't know. I mean, maybe,
nice
I don't
meeting
know.
You
I'm
as
not
well.
against it, but are we actually thinking about it, or are we
for a
just
moment to
playing
that
the game?
Tower, I know you don't know much, but it sounds like you've been here longer than we have. Have you heard anything about it? It's so odd.
that's about as much as I've heard. I tend not to poke around places that act weird, strange magics and such. A lot of folks that get too curious and I'm not coming back.
Agreed.
It's like, oh,
Agreed.
But now she's older. She's got the best old
Wait.
Larson light to turn on. It was just,
Sorry.
yeah, it was good. No, you were engaged.
Thank you.
Wasn't she the one that I asked if she was a pirate, right? She was like,
Yeah, we sailed with
the
her.
fuck?
Yeah,
Bunch
she
of mine
hadn't
can
heard
sail
from
with
the
us.
last campaign.
Okay, we did hear of her before. That's what
Just
Bo was
curious, you
saying.
don't happen to
I'm
have
trying to
any
like
members of
figure
your
out what
crew
Bo
by the
just
name of
said.
Sabian, do you?
So, okay.
She kind of she is not of my crew.
The name sound familiar?
Yeah, half elf fella.
Ooh,
He
Dren.
was here a few months back
Dren
when I was last
Salavis.
docking Nicodranus.
Dren Salavis.
So working with that
It's
low life
luck of the
Cadmus.
mother.
Haven't seen him
Marcasian.
since though.
Cadmus, you
Marcasian.
said.
Cadmus
luck of the-
Leland. You know Cadmus Leland?
The name rings a bell.
Cadmus Leland.
He's a right fuckface, I'll tell you that.
A few months, you say.
Yeah.
Cadmus or Cadmus?
Cadmus.
Does the name ring a bell?
Make a history check.
Why does it sound familiar?
It does.
Because it's a dope ass
Cadmus.
name.
All right,
Well, that's
after
better.
this, I'm gonna have to call because
18.
we're already over.
You have heard of Cadmus. Cadmus goes under the guise of a shipping merchant that hops from port to port. But for those who work heavily in the shipping lanes, he's known to be kind of a thief, one that skims off the top, and has recently. His business has come to a crawl as he's instead been kind of just staying out to sea, possibly, from what rumors have said, been involved
Shaking down
in the
ships.
shaking down of ships without means of protecting themselves.
Well,
He's a pirate.
Fucking pirate.
that's
fucking
a,
pirates.
that's a horrible
You do,
pirate.
and you also,
basically,
with
yeah,
that role,
pirate.
you know the name of a ship.
I don't know. I don't know.
What
There's
is
a
the
difference
name of
between
the
a
Widow's
horrible
Embrace?
pirate and a pirate.
The Widow's Embrace.
That also
Widow's
sounds familiar.
Embrace.
How do we know that? What do we know?
Because it's another
That-
good name.
Caleb,
I
do
don't
you
remember
have a
Widow's
memory of
Embrace.
this?
Yeah, have I ever heard of this boat in all my readings?
Not in your readings, no. You haven't spent a lot of time
Not in
studying
your
maritime
reading,
history.
no.
Why does it sound familiar?
Why do you say it like that?
What is Embrace? What is Embrace?
Was this recently? When would I have written this?
I don't recall
heard
that
this name
one.
before?
I knew we heard
think you have.
Adella.
Just a good name. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't feel like I mean, it's possible. I don't remember.
Slow it down, man.
All right, guys, that was part 1. I already went a couple minutes over. I'm digging everything going on right now. We have met Captain Adella. We met Orly. What was his last name? Orly something back. What was it? Something with his shell or his back? Something back flash. Jumping Jack Flash. Orly. I can't remember, but it was Orly. That's what's important. Captain Adella, I knew we heard that name before. Bo was going nuts up there. Marisha, I guess, because it was technically Marisha saying it to Travis. But I couldn't hear what she was saying. And she said, oh, it's the pirate, blah, 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 blah. One of the questions I have. They were either just playing the game, which is what I'm assuming. They're just like, yeah, like maybe we'll think about it. Like maybe we should do that. Or am I wrong? And part of them are thinking, hey, why don't we do it? That's a lot of time. She's saying we'll be gone for 6 or 7 months. There's no way we could be legitimately entertaining that, is there? I just feel like that's so much time to be away. We got other things we need to do. So I'm assuming the only reason I bring it up is because I don't know if there's something I'm missing in Marquette, because they're saying that's where she's going, to Marquette. I don't know, maybe I'm forgetting something, but my guess is they're just saying that to her so they could get information. She said she did know who Sabian was. Half elf dude. We're going to probably find out more about that. They're still talking to her. So I wish I could finish the conversation, but I'm afraid if we continue to talk to her, it's going to run into like making part 2 non-existent. And we still got the Patreon hour exclusive coming up. So there are still 2 other people in this room. We still haven't finished talking to Captain Adella. She shows us her ship. She's got a badass ship. We get the offer. We also see the bagpipes on the turtle. That was pretty hilarious. We asked about the tower, which is one of the things that intrigues me the most. Talks Machina, that came up again too. And Liam was kind of jabbing Marisha because Marisha was in the studio but not on the couch. And he was like, yeah, you were trying to make a bad decision, blah, blah, blah. Kind of spitting back what she said to him about previous things. I thought that was hilarious. But the tower, in all honesty, intrigues me the most. Maybe it's reckless. I don't think it's as reckless. I mean, I see where Liam was going in Talks Machina, where he's saying, we know about it, but we don't know enough about it. Because Danny was actually like fighting back a little and saying, we asked about it. We know what the deal is. We know this and that. But I feel like Liam wants to do more recon. He wants to do more recon, more info grabbing from people. I understand it. I think where Liam's coming from is we went in reckless when Molly died. I was on board with that too. And that was wrong. I think he's thinking, let's not risk our people. How do we know we don't go in there and all get like totally wrecked? We don't want to lose more people. Let's be safe about it. I think that's more where his mind's going. But he was being playful with it in Talks Machina. The way we ended it here was we're talking about Ford finding things out about his past. People involved in his past. We also found out about Cadmus. We found out about Marius. We found out about Marius. DePaul, whatever it is. I think it's DePaul. Orly told us where to find him, midnight on the docks. Maybe we'll do that in the hour. Who knows? I'm excited. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, A Person of Interest, our Patreon exclusive for every episode of this. Steven Universe, Infinity Train, and My Little Pony just started. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.